Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all super well, and welcome to the first ever episode of #AskTweedie. Currently, it's only a Tuesday. We may shift it to a Tuesday and Thursday, depending on how many questions we get. They're all questions that relate to you guys, so you'll see when they come up. This is going to be completely raw and unedited footage. I want you guys to get a bit of a feel of what I'm like when, let's just say, you guys are the camera. You're there, I'm having a conversation with you and we're just chatting. I'm giving you advice, giving you some value. So I'm sorry if I mess up a little bit. I'm so not used to having raw footage, but let's just roll with it. So this series, send in your questions. At the moment, we're only doing it through Instagram and Snapchat. So that's just through the messages. If you don't want your name on the video, then just tell me there. We're soon going to move it into Facebook. So this is going to be the only episode that is live on YouTube. After this, it's going straight over to Facebook. There'll be a link in every video that I post to my Facebook page. If you don't have a Facebook account, you don't need one to watch the video. You can just click the link, and I'm pretty sure you can just watch the video there. And then we're going to start moving the questions onto Facebook, because there's a couple of things there. I'm going to be starting blog posts as well. I'm just giving you guys a ton of value, helping you in your journey, because I know you want to be in my position. Some of you are a bit younger, maybe 14, 15, and when you're older, you want to pursue the same things that I'm doing. Some of you are a bit older, maybe you're in the same shoes that I'm in, and you just want to see my experience and what helped me get to where I am. So today we're going to crack it off with 3 questions. Let's just start off with the first one. So we have a question here that says, "Hi Sheldon, my question is what to expect moving into a new country to pursue the same thing as you?" I really like this question. I wanted to hit it off with this because I think this is something where I've had a bit of knowledge now. I've been overseas for what, nearly, I think just over 2.5 months, no, maybe 3 months. So I've been over here for, 3 months. I've been over here for a while, and let's just say there's different things in different countries. So in England, I'd say it's much easier than other countries. It depends on the language that you speak. England compared to Spain, it's a lot easier because they speak English. Spain, I've found it so much more difficult to adapt to this culture where I'm sitting in a car next to someone and they just talk about me and I have no idea what they're saying. Whereas in England, no one really says that. They kind of just talk to me and they don't really give me honest feedback, which is a shame, but that's just how it goes. In terms of football, so you say, expect moving into a new country to pursue the same thing as you. So in terms of the football, I'd say that everywhere is going to be different to where you're used to. So I'm from Australia, I've moved to England. The football style and just the players are completely different to anything I'm used to. When I moved to Spain, it was completely different. So I would suggest that you go on YouTube maybe and try and do a little bit of research. I'm sure there's some blog posts or videos out there that give you a bit of an outline of what the players are like in those different countries. So if you're going to Switzerland, maybe let's say 3rd division, then there's going to be a bit of an outline of what those players are like. I can tell you there's a massive difference between the 1st division and the lower divisions. The 1st division in every country seems to not really represent what all the other clubs are like in the lower divisions. And the biggest example of this is the EPL. When I saw QPR, which is Championship, so the 2nd league of England, the style of play was so different to that of the EPL, and it was only 1 level difference. And that's because there's so many foreigners in there. You have coaches like Guardiola and Mourinho. I think it's just something where you kind of have to investigate the lower leagues, maybe watch a couple of matches of those teams, and then decide whether that's the right place you want to go. If I'd known what I'd known about England, then I would have prepared differently. My mentor knew what England was about, so he said, I already knew what you were getting yourself into, but I didn't really know, and I didn't do the research. So I suggest do the research, watch some full matches of those lower league games. Don't go, oh yeah, EPL is so great, I'm going to England, because most likely you're not going to start off playing in the EPL. So that's basically my suggestion for you. Pursuing the same thing and also expect there to be a lot of, how would you say it, a lot of not hardships, like you're going to find it tough, let's say, especially if you're not going with family. If you're going by yourself, you're not going to have any friends. I've been lucky now, I have a lawn, but let's just say I stay here for a month, then a lawn's gone, and then I'm back to having no friends. So it can be a difficult process. I try and stay in touch with your family. That's the biggest thing. I do that every day. It's definitely a challenge. So you have the challenge of football, but then you have the challenge of what do you fill your days up with, apart from, you know, your football, your gym work and stuff like that. Because sometimes it can be a bit lonely. You just have to find the benefits and remember why you're doing what you're doing. I know that I'm over here to chase my goal in football, and there's definitely going to be drawbacks in that, meaning that I can't see my family and other people like that. So that's my answer to you. I hope that helped, and anyone else. Moving on to question number 2. I haven't played for a club in a year, but train every day and play small matches with friends 2 times a week. Do you think it will still be possible for me to play professionally? I may be able to join a club soon, but things like my height hinder it. Okay, a couple of things with this one, so I'm going to break it down a little bit. So he hasn't played for, and he's 15, I'll add that in. Hasn't played for a club in a year. That's a bit of a problem. You're not getting much experience. You can do as much individual training, as much gym work, as much training with your friends as you want. If you're not playing in games, you're not getting that experience. So I'd say you need to be playing games as much as possible. That's the biggest thing I suggest to you guys. If you're not in a club, I don't know what you're doing. So get into a club now. That's what I say. But train every day and play small matches with friends 2 times a week. I get a ton of messages from you guys, and it's something that I'm not so sure about, and I'm calling you guys out on it. I train every day and play small matches with friends 2 times a week. So that would mean you're training 7 times a week, and then on top of that, you play small matches with your friends 2 times a week. So that means you're training 9 times a week. I don't think, it depends. I have no idea what sort of training you're doing, but personally, I've never trained that much. I'm only training now a maximum of 6 times a week, plus another like 5 gym sessions, so that's 11, and then a game on the weekend. But for me, if I go to a session by myself, I assume you're not in a team, so you're just training by yourself. A lot of you guys say, oh, I wake up at 5 a.m. to go to training for 2 hours before school. Sure, that's great, but do you really do training? And this is something I want to touch on a little bit. There's something called purposeful training. And what that means is that you go down to the park with the ball or cones, whatever you're doing, you practice something purposefully. You have a goal in mind for that session. So if I go down to the park today, right, I'm going to go, well, what haven't I been doing well at training? Okay, my left foot shots, I don't know, just something out of the blue. My left foot shots haven't been the best, so that's something I'm going to work on today. I'm going to do 40 minutes of that. And for that 40 minutes, I'm going to do little pushes of it, like spurts of it, and then have a little break, and then little spurts, so that I'm doing the exercise at 100%. And that means that every time I do it, I'm doing it like it's realistic, like it's a match. And I think a lot of you guys, I've seen some people train down at the park by themselves. I saw one guy who was actually a young soccer player, and he would juggle the ball, do a little bit of shooting, and then go on his phone, then juggle the ball, a little bit of shooting, go on his phone, go home. And that sort of practice, like, this guy was a phenomenal player, don't get me wrong, but that sort of practice isn't going to help you get to where you want to go, because you're not purposefully practicing a skill. You're just down there to say, yeah, I went down to the park today. It needs to be, look, some people say they go down to the park for 2 hours. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. If it's 40 minutes and it's a solid session where you've come away from that session and gone, okay, I'm better with my left foot today. That's all that matters. And I need you to get that into your head, guys. Don't go down to the park thinking, oh, I need to go down for 3 hours, or I need to go down twice a day. You need to be doing the exercises at 100%, focusing on purposefully practicing. Set a goal every session for what you're going to improve. Don't just go down and go, all right, yeah, my shooting's weak, so I'm just going to do shooting all session. It needs to be like, my 1v1 skills aren't the best, so I'm going to do 1v1s. I'm not even going to shoot, I'm just going to verse a cone 100 times and do, I don't know, a double scissor 100 times. And every time I do it, I'm going to have a 10-second break so that I get my breath back, and then I'm going again. Doing that double scissor as quick as I can, as if it were a game, beat the player, accelerate away, stop, 10-second rest. And if you can put that into your training, then that's just you're going to kill it, rather than go, okay, I'm going to do a couple of double scissors. Double scissor, oh yeah, get to the other side, jog through, double scissor, okay, now I'm bored of that, let's do shooting. So that's my biggest tip on that. Do you think it would still be possible for me to play professionally? Of course. I really don't like when people say that. There's so many stories of people making it professionally when they're 26. Like, please do not ever say, do you think it's possible for me to make it professionally? All that you guys are looking for when you say that is for someone to go, yeah, sure, go do it. Get it off your bum and go and train properly and go and do it. That's what I say. If you're 15 and you haven't made it, work harder. Simple as that. Don't ask that question. I may be able to join a club soon, but things might hinder like my height. Oh, I may be able to join a club soon, but things like my height hinder it. Man, this is the last thing. No excuses. I've said this before, excuses kill people. Like, if you're saying, I might be able to join a club, but height might hinder it, that doesn't matter. You look at Messi. Messi's an exception, and that's something else. But look at Modric. Modric is an amazing player. When he went to Tottenham in the EPL, they said he's too small. He would never make it. Now look at him. He's in Real Madrid. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. So if you're saying, oh, my height might hinder it, or any player that's saying I'm too small, it doesn't matter. If you're good enough, you're going to get picked up. It's the whole gold brick story. If you're a gold brick, no one's going to look over you. So no excuses, man. But anyway, I'm wishing you all the best. Make sure you get into a club as soon as possible. Go down to the park, practice purposefully, and last of all, no excuses, man. Come on, let's do this. Next question, and the last question of the video. How far do you think you can go in the football world? I like this one. So, how far do I think I can go? I think this is a really interesting question because my goal is to play for Barcelona. I think I love their playing style and I would love to be part of that. And I know that that's so far away. For me, I've been really slack on my goals, and this is something I spoke with my mentor only the start of this week, so about 7 days ago. And he said, what did he say? Oh, he said, yeah, you need to set like a 3 or 4 year goal, and that's something I still haven't done. I need to do it ASAP, so then I have direction in what I'm doing. But he said maybe a 3 or 4 year goal could be playing the A-League. I think that's definitely achievable. And if I could do that, that would be amazing, because then from the A-League you can progress into higher teams. You look at Bernie Abini into the MLS. I said, Aaron Moy into Huddersfield. There's just so many pathways there if you kill the A-League. How far do I think I can go? I think the sky's the limit, really. I think I have the ability to play at a high level. It just depends on, like, how far, not so much how far I want to push myself, but how long I continue to play this game, I would say. If I continue to play this game at the highest level that I possibly can, then I'm going to reach a high level. I can feel that if you have something that you really want to achieve, the longer you push for it, the more likely you are going to get it. But if you kind of go, well, if you quit, then you're obviously not going to get it. So how far do I think I can go in the football world? I'd say pretty far. I'd like to think that I saw it the other day. Who was it? Christian Pulisic. Christian Pulisic, who plays in the USA team, and he's 18 or 19 years old, plays for Borussia Dortmund, and he's playing for the US men's national team. And I looked at that. I saw a video of him scoring against Panama or someone like that, and just his celebration. He was so hyped to score. And I sat there and watched that clip. I thought, man, I'm going to play for the Socceroos one day. And that's something that's kind of stuck in my head. I watched that when I want to be scoring that goal that sends Australia through to the World Cup. I want to be scoring that goal in the World Cup. And that's kind of something that's stuck with me. And I thought, that little switch, and it could be a switch in your guys' life as well, there's little sparks in your life, you can call them, where you see something and you go, okay, this is it, that's what's changed me, and that's what's taking me to a new level. So I would say that little switch by seeing Pulisic celebrate that goal, that's just pushed me so much. I've just thought, I want to play for the Socceroos one day, and I got on the phone with Dad and I said, Dad, I'm going to play for the Socceroos one day. So I think, like, representing my country, if that's the furthest I ever got, that would be amazing. I'd love to play for Australia. I think representing my country is just, it would be an honour. So I'm kind of looking at how, I think I may set like an 8 to 10 year goal on how I can represent Australia and see what sort of roadmap can lead me there, whether it's going from A-League, performing well in A-League and then getting selected there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the goal right now is to play for Australia and then go from there. I just imagine playing for your country, putting that green and gold on for Australia or whatever country you're in. It would just be an amazing experience. So that's kind of where I see myself going in the football world. That's going to conclude today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Something a bit different. If you did get some sort of value in this video, make sure you leave a like. And remember, if you reached it to this point in the video, I want you to send me an Instagram message saying #AskTweedieTuesday 123. No. I want you to send me #AskTweedieTuesday first episode killer. That's what you gotta send me in Instagram if you made it up until this point. Remember, the next one will be going live on Facebook. That's going up next Tuesday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll keep you updated with the links to there. And then just remember, if you don't have a Facebook account, it doesn't really matter. You can still head over and watch it. Going to be answering another 3 to 4 questions, depending on how much time I have, and then helping you guys out with that. So I look forward to seeing you in the next #AskTweedie. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Join the journey, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.